ensure that immediately once you are giving the person a letter of appointment, then you are offering the person the letter of financial clearance, then the person just begins. When we allow them to work for time, that is debt we are accumulating on ourselves. You get it? So, well, we applaud government for drawing a plan, but this needn't happen anyway.
Yeah.
Because you had recruited the people for a very long time. Anyway, kudos to Ministry of Education.
So Andrews Ataroni applaud government-free primary health care policy.
This is one young man I sometimes struggle to understand. When other people want to do the usual politicking of
issues,
because it's not my government in power, you go hard on good policies initiated by the previous government. Andrew seems to be different. He knows when to applaud and he knows when to critique. And for me, that makes you a distinct communicator when it comes to political communication. You must not always attack the other person because the policy isn't coming from you. That is why sometimes I find some overzealous NDC communicators trying to say that the NPP government did nothing. When you say they did nothing, it means they didn't even put a block on stone. And that raises a lot of questions. You see, let's learn to applaud when they need to be applauded, and let's learn to criticize when they need to be criticized. Andrew would criticize his own government when they were in power. Some of these NDC communicators must learn to do that. It makes you more Ghanaian, but not like Sam George, who says that I only did this to bring the NDC government to. I've paid my dues. Don't just pay your dues. Be patriotic. Let your yea be your yea and your nay be your nay. Good.
Sombrongo community sets sights on becoming cleanest town in Bolgatanga. Wow.
Yeah. If every town like what's the name of this community?
Asaloko.
If every community would take the cleanliness of the community into its own hands, we are going to eventually have a clean region. You see, I'm one person who really hasn't been in support of this national cleanup exercise day. I feel that it's just a conduit to siphon resources from government. And if you listen to the Public Accounts Committee, the amount of money they use this sanitation and cleaning to siphon, it will shock you, it will blow you off. But if communities can take up the cleanliness of their own communities into their hands, then it becomes a laudable thing. Cleaning your environment shouldn't even be announced. It shouldn't be an announcement. It shouldn't be receiving applause.
So we should make it a regular thing.
Just make it a habit. Make it a habit. Let's all cultivate the attitude of ensuring that we have a clean environment. If you drink sachet water or bottled water, and the environment you are isn't conducive to dispose of the plastic, just keep it in your bag or in your pocket. When you get home or you get close to a dustbin, you dispose it in there. When we all have this attitude of maintaining a clean society, a clean environment, we don't need to be applauding communities for championing cleaning exercise. Okay, if you don't do it and you fall sick, who is going to attend to you? You are the one going to the hospital. So attend to yourself. Make it a habit within the community to have clean environments. Can you have dedicated refuse dumps? Can chiefs mobilize their community to purchase trash cans? Place them at advantageous locations where people can easily dump in their refuse, because the district assemblies are failing us. Government is failing us. They are supposed to be paying for sanitation. Yesterday, someone drew my attention to this Zoom Lion. The person asked, have you observed that the withdrawal of the services of these women who clean the streets has left our streets filthier than before? I really didn't take an observation, and I'm yet to really observe critically if that is true. But we are aware that because of the abrogation of the contract, these Zoom Lion cleaners, those who usually sweep our streets, have been withdrawn from that service. So we need to observe. But my point is, let's all strive to have a clean environment. We shouldn't make it a song to be sung that, oh yes, we want to achieve a clean, and please just achieve it. Just achieve it, because your clean environment means you are going to have a healthy society.
Yesterday, Professor David Miller made a clarion call on this, and he urged government to add it to the free primary health care service that they've initiated, and that if we are talking about prevention, sanitation is highly or closely linked to our health too as well. And so if we have clean environment where people take sanitation as a responsibility and we clean our environment almost all the time, at least it would help promote good health.
Right.
So that was his view yesterday on the program. We still have some few stories on
so yesterday, just
around
Mount Sinai, there was a Toyota Highlander that somersaulted near the Mount Sinai school, disrupting traffic along the Bogatanga Tamale Highway. I think it was, fortunately, from the read, there were no casualties. No one lost their life. Just some injuries. But I just want to appeal that let's all be proper road users. I've been, Charlie, the road that we are moving on, it's not easy. It's not easy. But so it says, eyewitness said a Toyota Hilux was parked by the roadside when the driver of the Toyota Highlander crashed into it, causing the vehicle to somersault. You know, at the time of the day when the incident happened, that was probably around the rush hour when parents go to pick their children from school and go back. So this stretch of road from 2 p.m. to about 4:30 p.m., it's one of the busiest stretch of road. It is so busy that if you are not careful, you could cause an accident. It's so, and unfortunately, we have cars that would also park at the shoulders of the road, further narrowing the size of the lanes for riders, drivers, and pedestrians as such. So this, I wouldn't be surprised if this happened because the road had narrowed in further, and in attempt to maneuver, had no option but to
it is not just those who park on the shoulders of the road. Even people who do businesses on the shoulders of the road. You see that very stretch.
Yes.
You find people selling on the shoulders of the road.
The pedestrian walkway.
Yes.
They've
very,
occupied
very bad and very, very dangerous.
Get it?
Just I think right after the what do you call
Yes.
the Ola Cave,
Yes.
Yes.
Towards town. If you go on the right, the woman who roast
yes,
there's stretch. There's another fruit seller
along that stretch.
We just need to have a clear road, and that is why we are calling that if there is a bypass, if there could be a bypass for these heavy vehicles, they can use not just the heavy vehicles. Other road users may opt for those alternative roads to be used. Then we had the Attorney General in studio on Saturday. I like this headline. I sympathize with residents, and he promises. You know, this came up when we spoke about the road situation.
The road situation.
And he said something that yesterday a colleague in school was that he wasn't happy when he made that comment, but when he further elaborated, he was at peace, and that was because he initially said when he saw the video of the residents demonstrating. He asked the question, cynical question on why didn't they demonstrate when NPP was in government? But now, after he used the road, he sympathizes with the residents. And he spoke about how he saw a woman struggling to cover the child. While this is appreciable, I think he didn't even need to make the first part of the comment anyway. Because, yes.
And
that is,
you see,
so not even whether he, so he gets, so that's what I'm saying. He shouldn't have even made that first part of the comment.
Dr. Ayene's admission in this tells us the gap between us and them. That they are not connected with issues surrounding within even their own electoral area. look at that particular stretch and the harm it has been, even to the extent that people have lost their lives within that particular area. And today, he is now telling us that he sympathized with us simply because he saw a woman struggling to cover or protect the child whilst he was riding. So there is that huge gap.
How information, how they receive information around. But he promised that he.
This is not. He passed through that particular stretch and did his campaign.
And you know, initially
did his campaign. This is he did not see the danger of that particular route.
It wasn't very dangerous. So it's at the time of campaign, the road was more travel.
My brother,
being sarcastic.
My brother.
But you know, I
why are people like this?
The regional minister, the regional minister announced that Arako was going to do some work.
Yes.
We initially thought they were going to put bitumen, something there so that it should reduce. But apparently it was just to do what they did, just grade up a portion, ram it again, and that was that.
Wow. There's a lot.
I can tell you for a fact that for last week I used the road.
Okay.
This week I've been on the road. Arako is not on the road. There's no sign of a contractor on the road, except those huge bumps that I don't know who did those huge bumps that are now even causing more stress to our back than previously.
Well, so the Winko stretch.
Yes.
I've not passed there recently, but I've seen some pictures around. I don't know whether if it's actually true that they've started putting bitumen and chippings on the surface of the road.
They should turn their attention to the Zaru road. It's really terrible.
That is a different construction.
It's in the region.
Company.
And finally, the people of Upper East. Good news from our Attorney General is that Mahama will be visiting the Upper East region maybe in May to break ground for Bogatanga Airport.
May is next month.
When he said it, he was
still skeptical.
Yes, he kept a caveat around it.
Yes.
So he will still speak to the president to confirm. So yes, we
Gerald,
have the ear of the president.
Gerald,
we have a dedicated.
We were told that the first quarter of 2026. That should have been March.
But the president was busy.
First
quarter. It ends in March.
That should be March. First quarter, January, February, March.
April, May, June is second quarter.
Yes. So we are in the second quarter. So the first quarter failed us.
Please, let me explain why the president.
Please, no explanation. Let's do announcement. Let's no explanation. Let's do announcement, please. Yeah, please don't explain. We are doing announcement. All right. So we'll do a back right after the announcement. So we'll do a back right after the announcement.